Okay, so today, Cinco de Mayo. Our lesson is lesson 11, bubble number 8, 9, and 10. So 9 is the assessment. That's the one where you have to show me that you know what you're doing. So I will take you through 8. You will do 9 individually. And then 10 is a challenge. In terms of 10, I really just need you to maybe, again, you will not be able to do bubble A until you have done your project. So I am basically going to leave that for those of you once you have done the project. It is technically not required, but it is highly recommended because it's going to be part of a bigger project down the road. All right, so if we're taking a look at bubble 8, there are 4 different activities. Okay, again, all of these have to do with the draw loop. As a reminder, what the draw loop does is it at the top of the loop, it will run that code, and when it gets to the bottom of the loop, it will jump back to the top like a loop and rerun that code, rerun that code, rerun that code. All right, so let's start with A. Okay, this level combines some of the skills you've already seen. It's drawing ellipses in the background and also updating sprite properties. It's changing the sprite's rotation property. Do this. This random animation is already updating one of the sprite's rotations property to make it look like it's shaking. So we have one of the little aliens look like it's shaking apparently. Add code to the program to make the other alien shake like the first one. So I'm not sure what they're talking about yet. So I'm going to go ahead and run the program. And as you can see, the little green alien is shaking and the little pink alien is just kind of hanging out. So the green alien's having a dance party and the pink alien is not. And what it's asking me to do is to update my pink alien to make him part of the dance party as well. Awesome. Okay, so in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to take a look at, and I'm going to move myself over here. In order for me to do that, I am going to have to take a look at my code. And it's quite a bit of code, which is fine. These gray things, keep in mind, these are just comments. They do not affect any of the code. It just is kind of giving the creator an idea of what they are doing in that section of code. All right, so let's see. Again, if I take a look at the draw loop, because I know that the dancing has to be in the draw loop. I have background. Okay, so I have these ellipses, and I'm guessing that those are going to be my little dots that I'm seeing in the background, just kind of popping up everywhere. And then I have a green alien rotating with a random number. Okay, so that's going to be pretty simple. I should probably want to draw my pink alien also rotating, also with a random number. Okay, simple enough. So I'm going to go ahead and hit reset. And I'm going to go into my, right here, variables. Nope, I apologize. Under variables right here. And I am going to bring this down, x equals. Okay, so first of all, I need to have green alien rotation. Well, I don't want green alien rotation. I want to have pink alien rotation. So I'm going to go into my sprites, and I can always tell what color it's going to be because, again, all of my toolboxes are color-coded. So I see that that's in pink, so I know I need to be in the pink toolbox. So I'm going to go sprite rotation. I'm going to bring that down to my X position. Inside, there we go. Let me pull this up so you can actually see what I'm doing. And it's not called sprite, it's called pink alien. So I need to change the name. Remember, you always have to use the same name. Pink alien. And then my rotation should be a random number because I just want them to kind of boogie around. So I'm going to have random number. And again, if you just want something to shake, you want them to go one way and the other. So to make them rotate one way is going to be positive, and then the opposite direction of always is going to be negative. So in this case, I'm going to say -10 to +10. That way his little dance is going to look a little bit different than my little green alien friend. And once I do that, you can see that they are now both rotating. Again, the reason why previously we saw it being drawn over and over and over again, notice that inside the draw loop, I have my background. Every time I draw my ellipse, my green alien, my pink alien, the next loop resets the background. And this is happening fast enough where it's giving us the illusion of motion. Okay? Any questions on part A of this bubbling? Hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. Continue. We are now going to take a look at bubble letter, B. All right. So it says what I expected to do and what is it doing instead. I expect it to shake around, and instead, when I run this, it's blurring. Like there's all of this craziness happening. Let's see what the question in the chat is. I will get attendance again at the end of the hour, so please just be patient until then. All right, so my thing is I have this blender and it's not just shaking, it's kind of blurry. So again, I need to figure out why is it doing this and how can I fix it. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit reset, and I need to look at my draw loop. So I have my variable being created, the blender, the background, and then, so the background is being reset. So how can we fix this? Well, I do recall from before that I had created my variables outside of the draw loop. So I'm going to see if that helps, because that's what I remember from part A. The variable had been created outside of the draw loop. I don't know. Maybe that's a solution. Maybe it's not. But the nice thing is you can always reset it and see if you're right. And now, again, it seems to be better. I'm not sure why my background isn't showing up. Maybe it is, and I just can't see it because I'm an old person and I can't see yellow. Does that show up as yellow? It looks kind of pink to me. Let me try blue. Just because. There it is. Okay, so it must have been there. I just can't tell yellow anymore. Wow, okay, I'm an old person. All right, cool. So now you have the blender shaking. So it appears, so you don't get this blurred effect, we're going to make sure that we always create our variables, and we are going to create and set the animations outside of the draw loop. Remember, the draw loop is just the part where you want to create the illusion of motion. Okay? Issues or questions? Okay. Part C, debugging a repeated animation. Okay. No, you're fine. All right, cool. So what do I expect to happen? The sprite should animate smoothly. What is it doing instead? The sprite has this huge after image and stops animating. Run the program to see the bug. Use clues to try and find the bug. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, and I always like to put my grid on. All right, so like it drew, but again, it's supposed to be like bubbling. Like this thing is supposed to be like blah, 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 doing that. So I'm not sure what's going on here. So maybe we need to figure it out. So the variable is a ghost. It's bubbly. And then I have this draw function. Let me see that one more time. All right. So I am going to sprite animate smoothly. Okay, so it stopped animating. All right. So I am just going to go ahead and try and set this. Good morning. I did not see that, but that's awesome. That's nice. Var create. Nope. Sprite. There it is. So that is my sprite, which is Ghost. You know what? I'm going to put this inside. I think that is a much more elegant solution. It still stops. Hmm. This is an interesting one. Why is it stopping? What do you guys think? Background. Oh my goodness, I always forget the background. There it is. See, even us teachers can make mistakes. If you want something to continuously animate and look smooth, and I bet I can even pull this out. Yep. In order for it to smoothly animate, you have to have the background inside the draw loop. I cannot believe I forgot that. Okay. So again, I'm drawing the sprite, but then I'm resetting the background, then I'm drawing the sprite, and I'm resetting the background, etc., and so forth. And this again creates the illusion of motion. Wow, that was a lot harder than it should have been because I forgot something extremely simple. All right. And we are going to go ahead and continue. And then our last one today, debug sprite not moving. Okay, cool. So our sprite's not moving. Oh, I got something in the chat. My mic is low. Is that any better?
Move the mic closer to your mouth, I think.
Is that any better?
No.
All right,
No.
I'll just be loud. I'll just talk loud because my mic is up all the way as far as I can tell. So it might just be the computer itself. All right, cool. So this is my last one. Again, what do I expect? My sprite is supposed to shake around. What is happening is that it's not moving. Okay. So I'm going to run the program to see what the bug is, and then I'm going to try and use some clues to solve it. So again, it's not moving. It's just hanging out, living its best life. So let's take a look at what's inside the draw loop, because we know that it has to be inside the draw loop if there's going to be creation of motion. So there's two things happening. First of all, and I learned this from my one that I just did before, I know that my background should be inside here. That I do know. All right, because just learned that the hard way with letter C. So maybe it's because I don't have the background in there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit reset and run it. Ugh. Well, now nothing's happening. All right, so I broke it. Oh, okay. So remember when we did learn about animations, we learned that when we want to draw something, you have to tell the computer to draw it. Okay, so I put my draw sprite at the end because if you recall from our last couple of ones, every time I want to draw something inside the draw loop, my background's always the first thing, draw sprites is always the last thing. Hopefully this will work. Still doesn't work. Oh my goodness. This is a toughie. All right, so I have the blender. The blender is being created. You know, if I wanted to shake, maybe it's not my X and Y location that I'm trying to fix. Instead, what if it was my sprite rotation? All right, let's try that instead. So I'm going to pull blender X out, and I'm going to put rotation in, and I'm going to call this blender. Remember, you always have to name the change the name. I'm just going to pull this whole section out because I don't think I need it. Okay, except for now my blender is upside down, which is weird. So now I just have to figure out my rotation number so that my blender turns right side up. I'm just going to play with this. And I know that if I'm thinking of my geometry class, I know that like the 0 should be at least for this. If we start at the top, then we 360 around. So I'm going to say between maybe -10 and +10. That'll give me a rotation of 10 degrees one way, 10 degrees the other way. Oh, nope. Keep playing. I didn't mean to reset and run. There it is. So blender's shaking. I think that's what they wanted me to do. Yep. Shake around, not moving at all. So, all right. So it looks like they had the X and Y location in the code, and what they needed was blender rotation. So again, as you saw me model, a lot of this is trial and error. Like, I don't know how to fix this stuff. They change these programs every year. It's literally just a matter of getting into your code.org and changing some things and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't. The cool thing is, let's pretend you have completely screwed this up. You're like, I don't even know where I started from. Always remember, there is version history. If you go to the red start over, it will take you to the original settings for the program. You cannot break this, so play with it as much as you want. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that helps. And again, this is taking us through bubble 8 and lesson 11. Bubble 9 is for you to do independently. All right, bubble 9. Again, we have the salt shaker and we want it to shake salt. So you'll have to figure that out. And then, like I said, bubble 10 you can't even do unless you've actually done the project, which most of you have not done. So once you finish your project, you can do bubble 10. But until then, make sure you finish up 8. You'll do 9 on your own, and then 10 when you have the project done. Hope that helps, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions?